Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Jason Show. This is my first podcast, and with us we have our guest Shalveeta Pereira. Thank you so much, Shalveeta, for doing this. So, Shalveeta, how do you feel today?
Oh, Jason, first of all, I'm blessed and I'm so grateful to be here. And I am so honestly looking forward to the conversation that is going to unfold. Thank you for having me here.
It's a pleasure. So, today we're going to deep dive into what it takes to become an MC. Shalveeta here is a renowned MC. She's done more than 50 shows and she brings a bliss to wherever she goes. So, Shalveeta, tell me, how was it growing up as Shalveeta Pereira?
Oh, damn. Trust me, Jason, since childhood, one thing that has been constant about me is I have always been that cheery, chirpy girl as growing up, and someone who has always been out there, okay? Always participating in everything, being an all rounder.
How did you like? Normally, we start emceeing and hosting from due to church events and all. So there were like 20 plus events I've done myself. What made you decide that okay, I want to go full time into this?
Okay, after I graduated, that is when I was. See, one thing since childhood I'm very clear of is I don't want to do 9 to 5. I don't want to work for someone, okay? And once I graduated, like I said, it was a very bad phase for me because I saw people doing everything. People are flying, people are earning, people are doing everything, and I was here questioning of what I'm supposed to do. Like I knew what I wanted to do, but I did not know what to do, okay? And there were people who told me of there are a few things that you can consider is one, definitely MC, Master of Ceremonies. Second, that you can consider is being a tattoo artist, and few options that people gave is you can be a Zumba instructor and all of that. And people saw that in me, but I never saw that in myself, okay? And since growing up, I think I have always been very comfortable being on stage. I have been very comfortable being the limelight, okay, being on the limelight. And how did I start emceeing? To tell you is I would always participate. Journey started from I think when I was in junior KG. You know, fancy dresses used to happen,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And my mom pushed me. Junior KG, first time I was dressed up as a grandmother, okay. And even at that age, I was like this very like very like I don't know, very like matured and like very like oldie, like, you know. And that is where it started from. And then my mother would always encourage me to participate in poetry competitions, education competitions, and
Speaking about tattoos, we can see a very visible one here. How many do you have in total?
oh my god, I think I have 14 if I'm not
14?
mistaken. Yeah.
My God, I have none. I don't know. So, what did your parents think about when you told them ki I'm going to become an MC?
Okay. So I'll tell you this, that like I said, there were people who told me that you should consider this as a profession, but I never saw it in me. Even my father, when I was trying to consider of what I'm supposed to do, what am I supposed to study, or which field to take or walk into, my father encouraged me, saying that okay, this is something you are good at, and you might see, you don't know. We overthink of we overthink about everything. When there is something we need to start, we overthink about everything. We want to have everything laid right in front of us. But now I understand that it is not how it works. You have to take that one step, and then eventually things fall into place. So my father during COVID had told me that you should consider this, at least not full time, then at least give it a shot and see how it works. And then, like I said, I said okay. I just ignored him, okay. And when I started doing emceeing last December, and my parents like knew I would ace this because they saw it in me always, and they have been the biggest support. Like trust me, even when I go to the events, my mother is like always keeping everything ready. She's always like telling me of okay. They always help me with the outfits as well, okay. So they are very happy with what I'm doing, and I think it's like I said, it's because of my mother that she pushed me, and definitely my father's belief in me as well.
So, having supportive parents, it was say easier for you to go to that path, but it was still difficult to become the MC. You got that initial push, but then later on to put yourself out there to the world, that was like a big challenge for you. So, talk us through your first time hosting a professional event, like not the church one, not a school one, not any party, friend party, just a professional.
Professional, right. I've been a speaker, like I have been on stage since childhood. But it's different. Before starting professionally, I've done lots of events for my family, for the church, for the school, and all of that. But it's different when you start doing it professionally because people are seeing you in a light as a professional. You can't just walk up and you can't just like goof it up and like do whatever you want to. You have to be prepared. So I think eventually, like I never saw myself doing this, honestly. Like I never saw myself doing this. But I think throughout these years wherein I would take up things and all the times that I did the events for my friends, for my family, or even that was whenever it was for the church, the youth programs, I think I was being prepared through it all, which I never saw. Like when I told that I was not working after my graduation. For the world, I was jobless. For myself, when I looked at myself, I was jobless. I was hopeless. But that was not the case. Now when I look back in the hindsight, when I was going for all these youth events or doing all these church programs, and you know how vibrant our youth community is. When I was doing all this, people questioned me saying, "What are you doing with your life?" But now when I look back in the hindsight, I see that all these little things were preparing me. Okay, whether that was the joy or the way you dance or the way you engage the crowd, all of that I was being prepared. And I did my first professional after calling after starting my page professional, like thinking of doing this professionally. The first event that I did was Rose. Okay, Rose is a tradition, a Mangalorean tradition like haldi that people do before their wedding, and it was amazing. Like I was someone, I knew that I speak well, okay, I knew that I speak well, but I was very shy. Even though I look very outgoing, the voice was there, the speech was there, but I was very inside my head and inside my body. And an MC can't be that. You have to engage people, you have to, if you are energetic, your crowd will be energetic, right? And then when I did that, I was scared, okay, like I was really scared. I'm like, oh, this is my first professional event, first event professionally, and I was super scared. But trust me, I think it went really well. Like I was not that Shalveeta who would go on stage before, but I saw a new thing that had happened, and I don't know how. I just stepped in, and I know I killed it. Like I knew I killed it. That was the best at that point. Obviously, I've grown now since then. And that event gave me the confidence that okay, if I can do it, I know I can do it better. So that questioning myself of am I supposed to do this disappeared after I did my first event.
What was your thought process before you did this first event? Because I know before going on stage, you get this chills, you don't want to go on stage. That day I was performing at a show. The show was delayed 5 minutes because I couldn't go on stage. So how do you deal with the pressure that comes, the chills that come before actually going out there on stage?
Okay. See, one thing, people think that once you grow and once you are doing something again and again, the fear just disappears. But I feel like as a human, the fear is always going to be there. You are, no matter how good, like I have spoken to MCs and people who are in this industry since 2 decades, and that is a super long time. They are still even now when they get on the stage, they are scared. And I think as a human, it's always going to be there. And I think that is what gives you the thrill, no? That is what gives you that adrenaline rush, you know. If you don't feel the fear, I don't think there's any point of it. When you feel the fear and when you face the fear and you do it, I think that is when you get that high that you're looking for. And how do I deal with it? Trust me, Jason, I think now I've done over 60 shows, I could say. And before each event, I'm scared. I'm scared, but scared in a good way. Okay, I'm scared. I'm
excited.
Excited, exactly. I reframe my sentence always in my head saying I'm excited. And one thing that I could tell you is one thing that I do before stepping on stage is I just say, Holy Spirit, take over. and then the spirit takes over. I know the magic that happens is not me, but something so much higher than me.
So when you're hosting a show, I know that audiences can be difficult to break the ice with. What are your like go-to icebreakers that you do with the crowd to break the ice with them?
Okay, icebreakers. See, the first thing that I know what works is you should always compliment people. Like even if you are in a room full of strangers and someone walks up to you and says, "Oh, Jason, I like your piercing. I like your hair." You are already connected with that person, and I think this is what has worked for me as well. The moment I start the show, the first question I ask is, "How are you all?" And that is how I try to engage them. How are you all? What is up? Tell me how are you all? Tell me what is up? Tell me are you excited? And then the second thing I do is I compliment them. I tell them, "Oh, you all are looking amazing. You all are looking superb. It really looks like you all are ready to party and have a good time." And that just hypes them up. For us, I think it is very important for us to come down to the level the people are at. Okay, we can't just like walk up and like start with our speech and all of that, but rather just that initial stage of the initial stage is what makes or breaks the event. Okay, it's very important to catch their attention in like that 1 minute span when you started, and the best way to do it is ask how are you all and just compliment them, because people love compliments. Yeah.
So like after you compliment them, the show keeps on going on. What do you think is the most challenging part after the initial breaking the ice and getting over your chills and all?
Right. The most difficult part, see Jason, when a client hires you, there is mad money in this industry, I'll tell you that. People are spending money on the food, the alcohol, the decor and all of that. But who is the one running all of it? It's the MC. It's literally in MC's hand to make or break the event. And I think when you go up there as an MC, one thing that you need to keep in mind, or one thing that you need to understand is the limelight is not on you. It's all about people. When you go up there on stage, it's about people. The client has hired you to make sure that everybody is having fun, that people are engaged. See, they don't need an MC, okay? They can just eat, have fun and go. But why is MC there? MC is there to make sure that everybody in the room is having fun, to make sure that everybody in the room feels engaged and involved, okay? And sometimes the difficult part is people are very closed. They don't want to come out to dance, they don't want to come out to play games. So that is when you have to be clever and you have to be on toes of, okay, this is not working, what else can I do? Because I remember there was a party wherein the client wanted march, the client wanted the line dance and dancing and all of that, but the guests that were there were very closed and very shy, and I was trying to get them all together, but nobody was coming, and that happened for the first time. I'm like, what do I do? But I remember that, okay, I am in a leadership position and it's on me to take this forward. And I immediately switched and I said, okay, do you want to play spot prize? And they were like, okay, we want. They were interested. I saw that they were interested. And then I played spot prizes wherein everybody was involved. So I think that is one challenge that we face of you have the flow ready in your mind. You have things ready in your mind of, okay, we want to do this, do this, do this. But sometimes it doesn't work like that. Sometimes, because see, you are walking into a room full of strangers. You don't know them, they don't know you. So it's very important to understand. So one tip that I would like to give in here is always reach at the venue a little early and sit and observe people, sit and observe how they are and how, and that is when, if you need, like if you understand that, okay, I need to make few changes in the games, maybe a few changes here and there with the entertainment part, you can do that.
Okay. So what are the kind of games or activities that you do to engage the crowd?
Engage the crowd. One thing that has worked really well for me is, see, for the main games, like wherein you come out and you play like passing the parcel, just giving you a very common examples like musical chair.
What's your favorite?
Favorite, exactly, one that everybody knows of. So for these games, sometimes people don't come ahead. People feel very shy or very closed. So what has worked really well for me is spot prizes. And when I say spot prizes, it isn't like, okay, someone with the maximum number of tattoos, let's say. these games, yes, but spot prizes, engaging spot prizes of wherein I will go with the mic around the crowd and to the crowd, and I will engage. I will go to each person. Like okay, say per se, there is one spot prize that is going on. I'll go to at least 6 to 7 people in the crowd and involve and engage with them one on one. And then what happens is, okay, they see this one person participating, other person gets competitive, and then other person wants to participate as well. So one thing that has worked really well for me is engaging with the crowd with spot prizes, which is involving them one on one.
Sport prizes, okay. Alongside sport prizes, do you think that dancing also plays an important role in breaking the ice with the crowd?
Oh, definitely. When you look at our Catholic parties and parties, especially when there's a young crowd, dancing helps. It really helps. And I think one USP for me is definitely dancing. Dancing is something that everybody enjoys and everybody loves. Okay, and that I think dancing works well to like just loosen yourselves up a bit. Okay, when you start dancing, there is automatically that. Comfort which sets in, and that works really well. But dancing may or might not work with everyone. Like I said, it really depends on what crowd is it, and especially if it's a young crowd, dancing works really well because that is what gets them on feet and that energy over the roof.
You've done a whole lot of shows and sometimes something may go wrong. How do you handle that something that has gone wrong? Can you share a moment where something went wrong and you had to handle it?
Right. Like I said, you are the one, as an MC, I am the one who can break or make a show. And yes, we do the flow, we do runarounds with the client and all of that. You have everything in place, but there are always chances of going things wrong. And as an MC, it's very important for us to be prepared. Be prepared for whatever that is going to happen. Like, there are few times that happened wherein the cake did not arrive on time, or wherein there was some important person who did not arrive on time, or something or the other. There is always chances of things going haywire. Okay, there was this one time, I have not yet faced anything like that, but it is very important to be prepared. And it's a time wherein everybody panics. Okay, there was I remember this. I did a rose. Okay, and after rose, there's a point wherein the bride was to change. Okay, and she left. She came by auto and she left all of her jewelry, all of her clothes, and everything in the rickshaw.
Oh my God.
Okay, and she arrived late, around 8. Okay, and you know, rose is a event wherein there is traditions and rituals and all of that happening, and you need time. Okay, she arrived late and we started late, and the whole family was panicking and everybody was panicking. But I, as an MC, I cannot panic, right? So things like that happen. There are times wherein cake did not arrive on time, and there was recently one engagement party that I did wherein there was someone important from the family who was supposed to come, and that person reached around 9. When do you start the party and when do you end the party? Because at 10 everything goes off. So at times like this, the whole family panics, but you can't panic. You have to be very strategic. So whoever in the family, whoever you were in conversation with, whoever you were discussing your flow and everything with, it's very important to be in touch with that person. And during these times, you can't do everything that you've planned, but you can still cover a little bit of it and make sure that you give the client what the client wants, right? So it's very important, one, to not lose your chill. That is very important. Just be calm and be rest assured that things will fall in place. Okay, it's life and things happen. So one, be calm, and second, don't, just because you've planned all this, okay, I want to do all of this no matter what, you can't do that. You'll have to cut short and you'll have to very strategically do of, okay, this is how you'll have to, like I said, whoever you were in contact with, you'll have to tell the person of, okay, we can't do this, but we'll make sure that this party goes around. This party goes and cover whatever you can cover.
That's right. And about the story you were saying, who forgot her dresses and her jewelry in the rickshaw, what happened later after that?
Nothing happened, and then they went and they got, I think, some old stuff that they already had. They went back home and they got stuff, the old stuff, and the party happened, and it was good. It went well. We started at around I think 9:15, and then we winded it around 11:30, and I think the party went well.
So now you've done so many shows. What is something that you have learned over these shows that you can implement as an MC and also in life?
Oh, I love this question. There are so many things that I've learned, but first one that I would like to tell you is.
Give me 3 things.
Okay, give you 3 things. Okay. First, very important one is practice. You have to practice. Because I saw few newbies and few people who want to get into this. When I talk to them, they'll be like, oh, I'm good at speaking, it's very chill, I don't need a script, I don't need a flow. No, it doesn't work like that. Like you go and talk to anybody. See, when a sportsman gets on the field, it's not just that he just decides and he just gets on the field. He's doing that practice day in and day out. Even when an artist, when Rihanna gets on stage, she's just not there doing whatever she wants to do. Even though she's amazing at it, but she's putting in that practice, right? So one thing is, no matter how good you are, or no matter you feel like how the best you are, practice is needed. Put in the practice, put in the efforts, and be prepared. That is one. Second thing that I've learned, which is very important, is one size doesn't fit all. Okay, no matter how good you are, no matter how amazing you are, not everybody likes mangoes, right? There will be one person who has and who will say something, and you can't take all of that to your heart. This came because I'm a big time people pleaser. Okay, I can say. Sometimes it just creeps in, but it's okay. You can't impress everybody. You can't make everybody like you or love you or appreciate you. So second, don't seek appreciations, but rather seek valuable feedback from people. So what I sometimes do is when I'm done with my shows, I ask the client or I ask people around or just ask for constructive feedbacks, and people are always ready to help. Okay, so one size doesn't fit all. Don't try to impress everybody, because that is not going to happen. The third thing is market yourself. I think that is very important to put yourself out there. Okay, it's very important to put yourself out there. Initially when I started, I said, okay, whenever we start anything, we want to figure out everything. We want the staircase to be ready, we want everything to be ready, and we want to know how it is going to happen. But it's not like that. You just have to you might not be, there is always something to learn. If you say, okay, I want to be 100% perfect, no matter what you're doing in life, okay, if you say, okay, I want to be 100% perfect, I want to be the best, that doesn't happen. You learn through it. You learn while you do it. So don't expect perfection. See, when I compare my shows, my first show and the shows that I'm doing now, there's a huge difference. Okay, that what I did then was perfect to me then. Now what I'm doing is perfect for me now. This is obviously not the best. Best is yet to come. So there is always learning that is going to happen. So it is very important to not expect perfection, or to not expect perfection and just to have everything figured out. You can't have everything figured out. Just take one step at a time. Like when I started, I was not sure about anything. First thing that I did was open my Instagram page, and then slowly put pictures. I did not even have pictures, Jason. I did not have pictures, I did not have videos. I had to go back and like put some blurry pictures, which is like low quality pictures, but start somewhere, you know. When you look at famous, like at least what I do is, all these famous people, all these famous influencers, you take the names. What we see is, we see who they are now. But what I always do is, even when I'm seeing their Instagram or when I'm checking their YouTube, I go to their oldest. And when you see the oldest and when you see them now, there's a huge difference. Huge difference. And people don't understand that, because they want everything to be ready just like that. No, you have to go through the process. Everybody has to go through the process.
There's the process of learning continuously, because even I have been there. Like I've seen this guy who's like so big, but then I go to his old videos and Like I can make better videos than his first better videos.
Exactly. It's
I know.
always going to be embarrassing. So don't be afraid of being embarrassed. That is one thing I've learned the hard way. Don't be just put yourself out there. People will laugh, people will question, people will say, but later the same people will come to you asking you for advices or looking up to you.
So about putting myself out there, even I've started a podcast now. This is my first episode, and I'll tell you, to even release this episode, I am really scared. And to make all these to make this long form into short form content and post reels and all. So that's a big thing for me, that I have to put myself out there more. The first step you spoke about was practice. What do you mean by practice? Like how does one practice before an event as an MC?
Right. So I'd like to start with this, that when you want to do this, how do you know that you want to do this? So before even putting yourself out there, it is very important to know if this is what you want to do, okay? And how you can just get a gist of it is obviously start somewhere. You can always start with your friends' parties, your relatives' parties, small college events or small events like Republic Day celebration or Parents' Day celebration in your society, colony. Start somewhere, okay? And once you know that, okay, obviously it's not going to be the best. You'll fumble, you'll make mistakes, and all of that is okay. But start somewhere, and once you get comfortable, few things that you will have to do is, one, you will have to work on your vocabulary, the way you speak, the way you present yourself. And one thing that really helps me is I always stand in front of the mirror and I talk like there is a huge crowd in front of me. And that is one thing that has really helped me. Even now, before my events, I have my flow ready, I have my script ready, not like a script, but how do I go about. I have everything ready, and I always practice like I am doing my event. Like I stand in front of the mirror and I use my water bottle or like my mobile as the mic, and I do it and I practice it. That is you have to practice. And this is, I think, one of the most simplest and the easiest, because you see yourself and you can make out of, okay, this is not right, this is not wrong, this is my pace. Also what you can do is you can record yourself, and that is how you understand your pace, your voice modulation, which is very important.
When you make a script before an event and you go to the event, do you like read out from the script, or is it like you just make bullet points for the event?
Right. So when I initially started out, I'll tell you this, I'll give you a little background story, okay? So I used to do these events for the society or the zone or youth and all of that. When I started then, before I started professionally, I would have everything ready, like every detail of the script. And I would always read it out, okay? I would like just look at it and I read it out. And at that time, many people told me that, oh, you speak so well, you speak. And I always thought that just because you're speaking well, you can call yourself MC, okay? And my thought process then was, I want the attention, I need the attention, okay? I am the limelight and I have to speak well and I have to speak so much and I have to give that voice modulation, and that is when I can attract people and all of that. But now when I've started, initially when I started, I would have everything written down, like, okay, this is my intro, this is it, I would have everything written down. But after like few events, I understood of how it goes about. So you don't need script, like I don't need scripting now, nobody takes the script. But if you're doing a corporate show and all of that, then it's a different thing. But if you're doing an event, like you said, we need bullet points. We need to know of how the flow, how we are going about the event. And now I've realized that people don't like too much of talking, okay? People don't like. See, when, for example, if you're doing roast, they already know what the tradition is. They already know what the roast is. So you don't have to go there and give them like a big history and big background of what roast is or why it is. No. Just get to the point of, okay, we are here for this, and get to the point. Just do that. They are there for fun. They are there to have a good time. They are there for laughter and to find some peace which they can't find in their daily life. So your job as an MC is to give them what they need and not give them what you think they need.
Okay.
So now, like I said, I just have these bullet points and I know after this is this, and trust me, no help. There is no help of keeping a script ready, because it's always half the things that I do is impromptu. It's on spot. It's so yeah. What is important and what is required is a bullet point and flow of how you want to go about the event.
I feel humor is a very big part of being an MC. Like sometimes when I'm hosting, I keep my jokes ready and don't do it on the spot. But sometimes I do the jokes on the spot. Like how do you balance between them? Do you keep like some jokes ready?
Right. With the humor part, it is very important to be witty. It's very important to have that knack of making people laugh and keeping people, because we as humans, our attention span is how it is, right?
Going down the drain.
Right. So if you are doing something and if it is very monotonous, you will see it on people's face. So it is and our job as an MC is to keep them on toes, is to make sure that they are having fun. So I have few jokes ready, I have few shairis ready, which I can put here and there and I can use it here and there. But otherwise also on spot you can just give that one liner, that one punch that will make them smile, or will put a smile on their face. But when we also talk about jokes in the industry, I've seen many people do adult jokes or do jokes which are not very appropriate, or make jokes about the people in the crowd. So it is also very important for us as professionals to keep all this in mind, that you don't have to use dirty jokes always. You don't have to make joke of someone to make people laugh. So you need to be very considerate and very keep these things in mind.
What do you think is the most rewarding aspect of being an MC? What do you enjoy the most about it, rather than the money? Keeping money aside.
You see the big smile on my face because I absolutely love this question. See, I'm doing this work because I love every bit of it, okay? And keeping aside the money, Jason, money is not even into consideration, because money will come, okay? There is money in this industry. In the event industry, there is sky is the limit. When I talk about money, sky is the limit. But let's keep the money aside. The joy that comes with it. See, Jason, us as an MC, the event that I'm doing might be this one event that I'm doing might be one event for me out of the 1,000 events that I have. But for the client, it's their one and only event. So to treat that event as my own family event is very important, and I think that is what drives me. If I am hosting something, I want it to be good. I want the guests to have good time, have fun. So as an MC, I treat every event that I do as my own family event, and that is what gives that event a personal touch. I am not there for money. I am not there to shine. I am not there to have the attention on me. I am there to make sure that every guest who is there is having a good time, is going back with a smile on their face, no matter how hard of a time they are having, no matter how life has been treating them. When they are there at that event, wherein I am heading that or I am leading that, my only goal, my only motto is to make sure that they're going back with joy, with love and a big smile on their face. And like you said, the most rewarding for me is the joy, is the love. Like when I host wedding parties, when I host baptism, when I host all these events which are very special. As humans, these are days wherein you're going to remember forever. You are going to look at the albums, the videos, and something that you're going to cherish forever. So for me, the most rewarding part is definitely to give the client what the client wants, one, and second, the love that I get to share, the joy that I get to share, the happiness that I get to share, which I feel everybody is longing for somewhere or the other. And I am so blessed and I'm so grateful, because for the work that I do, I get to spread the love, I get to spread the joy, I get to spread the happiness. And when I come back, when I do a good event and when I come back, I just I feel so happy, I feel so content. Like, even if I die, I'm going to die a good death, it's like that. Every event I come back, I am just so deeply happy, just so deeply, just so content, yes.
I did this.
Yes. It's I can't put it into words, but it's something, it's very special that I get to share the love. I get to make this event so special to people, which they are going to remember this forever. Right. So the most rewarding part is definitely the love you give, the love you get.
That is a great answer. As an MC, you are always in the limelight. Do you like the attention that comes with it?
Oh, Jason, I love it. I love it because I have been someone who always thrives when I have the attention. Okay, I am someone who loves to be on the limelight. But like I said, the fame will come. That will definitely come with time. And like I said, it's you are the leader there. You are the one. Everybody's eyes is on you. They are noticing the every detail, the way you walk, the way you've dressed, the way you're speaking, the way you're talking. All eyes on you. I love that, and I know that eventually the fame will come as well. But at the end of the day, like I said, it's nothing about me, but it's everything about the people that they are there. Yes, I love the limelight, but I'm not there for the limelight. I'm not there for the attention. I am there to make sure that everybody in the room is having the best time of their life.
You were talking all about the limelight that you get as being an MC, the attention that you get. And you were saying the people always observe the way you talk, the way you walk, the way you dress. Do you sometimes feel insecure that you're not living up to their standard? Because maybe you must be feeling that, okay, I am enough, but inside you that little bit is like, okay, I feel a little bit insecure about this one thing.
I like this question as well because when you think of MC or when you think of someone who's going to lead the crowd, or your typical MC in your head would be like a very lean girl, like a very tall, like very, straight hair, because that is what sells, okay? And I see, when I first got into it, I was like, oh damn. First thing I was very insecure about is my height, okay? Because when you have that good height, you already grab attention like that. Okay, but when you're lacking there, you have to be good otherwise. You have to keep that height thing aside and you have to be good otherwise. So that was one thing in my mind always of, oh, I don't have that height. How will I capture their attention? How will I grab their attention? Will I be important enough that they'll listen to me or they'll want to listen to me? And the insecurity is always going to be there, okay? Because see, sometimes when you dress a certain way, like I said, you can't impress everybody. Even if you're wearing your best outfit, there will be always someone who will have something to say, okay? Either you're extra covered or you're a little extra less covered, or you are this or you're that, or there will always be someone who will point out. So I think one thing that we need to do is, it's very important to find your style. And also one thing as an artist or as an MC, what is important is to have a visual representation of yourself. And that sells, okay? Maybe a highlight for someone will be the way, how they dress, okay? I know of this MC who has like his own designer who designs for him. And the way he dresses is very hatke. And that is what works for him. So visual representation is very important. Like, okay, if someone has red hair, so she'll be known as, okay, the red-headed MC. Okay, so that is one thing that I'm trying to figure out of what kind of visual representation do I want. But like I said, the insecurity, it kicks in sometimes, because see, you are in front of people, there are gorgeous people in the crowd, okay, and sometimes it hits, but for me, what is important, like I said, at the end of the day, it's all about my work, it's all about my art. The looks is secondary, because I know of so many people, okay, so many people in the same field who look amazing, but when they open their mouth, it's not as amazing. So it's very important. Yes, the looks is very important in this field. You know that in the entertainment field, the looks is very important. The way you present yourself, the way you put yourself out there, it's very important. But the most important is how you do your art. Work on that first, and working on the outer appearance will happen eventually.
You were saying people are called as a short MC, the maybe loud MC. What are you known as an MC?
I don't know. So see, when people reach out to me, and since I've started, it's all been word of mouth. And even people come and ask me of how are you. I don't have like a client base, okay. It's all word of mouth that is happening, okay. And it's either word of mouth or it's either Instagram where people reach. And the first thing that which I've noticed, people say is, I love your energy. I love your energy. So I think one thing about me is how easily I connect to people, one, and how, like I said, when I do an event, it's not someone else's event. It's my own family event. So it's the warmth, it's the love, it's the joy, it's the giggliness that I bring. I think that is what makes me special.
If someone wants to start in this field, how do they get into it? Like, is there any kind of formal training, or should they go and look for a mentor who has done this before, or is there some organization that trains people how to be an MC, something like that?
Right. For a starter, see, there are obviously courses that are coming up, and there are people now who give like a coaching or give you like an idea of how it happens. But before, there was no like a there's no like a formal training that happens for MC. Okay, it's all what you learn looking at people. So one thing, like I said, what you can start with is definitely taking up the mic and starting somewhere, whether that is the education competitions or your competitions or some programs in your colony, your church, your college, and all of that. And then second thing is, see, we live in an age where everything is available at our fingertips. So just go on YouTube. Like everything is there on YouTube. Any event you want to learn about, just watch people, learn people, understand how they're doing it, understand how they talk, understand how they are dressing or how they are putting themselves up there. And see, when you start out, you won't have your own style. You are going to take something from this one, you're going to take something from that one. Okay, you're going to take the way he speaks, the way she dresses up, the way he dances, the way she engages, the way he uses shairi, the way she uses her jokes or whatever. You're going to pick up something from everybody, and in that initial phase you're just going to try and experiment. Okay, we can't say it copying. Okay, it's you're trying to understand of what is
You're taking inspiration from all
inspiration. Exactly, inspiration. So you take something from everybody and you put it into action, you put it into action, you put it into action. And when you keep on doing it, you'll reach a point where you'll understand what is your strength. You'll understand, okay, this is the niche I want to go ahead with. Okay, this is my USP, this is why. And one thing you have to be very clear of, why are people hiring you? See, there are many people in the industry. There are so many. Okay, why people have to choose you and you only? No matter, it's not just with this. No matter what are you doing in life, you have to be very clear of why you. There are options. There are so many options. Why me? So you have to have that USP of, okay, this is my selling point. This is what makes me special. This is what I can give you, which nobody else can give you. Right? And at the end of the day, no matter how it is, it's always all about how you give your special touch. Right? Once you reach a certain stage, you will get clients wherein the client won't give you dates, but rather the client will adjust their dates according to your availability. And why is that? Because there is something in you that they see. They want your energy, they want your aura. There is something that they see in you. So it is very important to have and know of what is your special quality. That can be dancing for some, that can be doing some mind games for some, or that can be engaging with shairis and jokes for some. So it depends. And also the way you dress for some, right? So and also when you say MC, so the first picture that comes to your mind is, okay, someone with a mic, with a blazer, with a tie, very formal this. But times are changing now. Times are changing, and you see, from the older people who have been in the industry, you can learn so much from them, right? You can learn how the program works, the traditions, the rituals, and how you present yourself, all of that. But now, since the generation is changing, it's very important to give that flair, to give that touch, to give that enjoyment, because now people, all and everything they look for is fun.
That's right.
All they want to do is come, dance, eat, drink, leave. Right? So how you as an MC can give or put that special touch, give that special touch. Right? You are there for a reason, you are there to engage the crowd. How can you do that?
You were talking about niches, and like as an MC, you get to work in multiple things. Sometimes it's a wedding, sometimes it's a communal, sometimes it's a roast, sometimes it's a corporate event. So like if you had to choose one niche which you had to go all into, you couldn't do anything else, what would that niche be and why?
I think for me it will be definitely social event, because see, when it comes to corporate, there is a very structure, there's a structure to it, right? There's a structure, you have the script, you read it and all of that. For me, I'm a very like free bird, like always dancing around, jumping around that. So for me, I think it's going to be the social, which I want to grow myself into. But I'm also definitely looking into corporates, and it's very important to try everything before you get into and you specialize into that one thing.
Okay. So between communion, baptism, marriages and all, you would choose one, what would that be?
I think that will definitely be weddings.
Weddings.
Which is super fun.
Now someone who is starting out as an MC, how much can they expect to make and in the initial days, and how much can they earn once they have got say a relevant amount of shows worth of experience, say 50 to 70 shows, they have that much kind of experience. How much do you expect them to make at that stage and initial stage?
Okay. One thing that I've noticed is when people get into something, whether that is job or whether that is anything, you expect big. And it doesn't work like that. See, when you initially do it, you'll have to do shows for free. At least because first thing is you want to learn of what is happening. Because not every event looks the same, not every event runs the same. So when you start out, when you say you're doing it for your friends, you're doing it for your relatives, you're doing it in your college or whatever, it's not going to be paid, okay? And for at least 1 year when you start, I think money should not be the factor that you consider. Just take up shows no matter how much the client is paying you. Just take up shows. Even if you have to do it for free, just take up shows, because one, you're getting to learn, second, you're getting to understand of how event works. And once you feel like, okay, you're ready, okay, you've taken enough amount of events and you feel like, okay, I know how this works, I know, okay, this is how we go about, and whatever you've learned and you've done your homework, like, after that, see, the sky is yours. In the event industry, the sky is yours. To begin with, if I could say, even if the client pays you 2,000, 3,000 for per event, whether that is birthday party or whether that is some small programs like naming ceremony and all of that, you can't say no. You can't say no, or you can't say, okay, this is my budget or I want it in this budget. If you've not learned and if you are not experienced enough. Initial stage, one thing I would say is, at least for your 1 year, just take up shows. Just take up shows, no matter the client is paying you, not paying, just take up shows and let your only goal and your only aim be to learn and to understand how an event works. And once you grow in this field, money is not an issue, the sky is yours. Trust me, the sky is yours. There is money in the event industry.
And how much can one expect to make after they've got some kind of experience?
Okay, some kind of experience to give. See, it again depends on how much are you charging for one event. And if you're doing corporate, there is money in the corporate. And if you're doing weddings and all of that, and if you're taking up small shows like birthday parties and all of that, it might not pay you as much, okay? So I could say, to give you like a rough number, even if you're charging like 5,000 for one event initially, and if you take up 10 shows probably, and you're charging 5, you do the math of how much you're getting in a month.
Per month, 50,000 per month.
See, which is not bad as a beginner. So depends on how much you're charging for the event, depends on how much, if it is an off season, if it is an on season, depends on that as well. If it is a season time, and if you're getting weddings and roses back to back, you can make more than 1 lakh in a month, aram se. Even if you take shows as per your convenience, you can make money.
There was a misconception that I felt, or I don't know if it's true. It takes away from your freedom, your weekend freedom, that there are other things to do, like there's a party or there's an event at church. You can't attend that because of this the event you're hosting.
Very true, very true, very true, very true. See, Saturday and Sunday are the days when people chill. And for us, Saturday and Sunday are the days wherein we work. And trust me, Jason, I I would not complain about it because, like I told you, I love my job. I love what I do. Like this is something I can picture myself doing for the longest time. Like I can't complain. So when they are, see, I am partying and I'm making money. So you tell me whether that partying is better, this partying and making money is better.
So
I'm not complaining. You can't you can't complain. You can't complain. See, our weekends are better than their weekends. First you're getting paid. Second you're getting free food. Third, what else do you want? But keeping the jokes aside, I can't complain, and even if you want to like get into this, you can't complain because it's fun. And when you love and when you're doing something you love,
Yeah.
it's bliss.
It
It's a
doesn't
blessing.
feel like you're working.
It doesn't feel like you're working. It's a blessing.
But when you're working here, do you feel like a sort of FOMO that my friends are out there and I'm here? Like suppose it's your best friend's birthday and you have a
Right.
event that day.
Right. See, I have gotten over that FOMO phase long time back. So I don't think I feel the FOMO. But like you said, if it is something very important, special, like okay, probably a relative wedding which you can't attend, and I think sometimes, see, when you're initially starting out, it's just the weekends that you're working, okay, and the rest of the week is wherein okay you're not working. It's just the weekends that you're working. And one thing we need to remember, we need to know that is this one event. Okay, take this. Supposing you're taking this one event, and this event is just paying you 3,000. Okay, it's 3,000. Like yeah, 3,000. My friend's party is going to be better. I rather attend that. But we don't understand that this one 3,000 ka event, this one 3,000 event that you're doing, can give you 5 more clients.
That's it.
Right? It's when people see you, it's when people know you, and when people see your work. It's that is how you get work in this field, right?
Word of mouth.
Word of mouth. It's always word of mouth. So even with the money regarding question that you asked, don't think about money initially. Even if they are paying you 2,000, go there because that happened with me. I'll tell you the story, okay? So I had this client. The client said the budget is I got it through and through, and the client had the budget, okay. But when the client spoke to me, the client said, okay, my budget is 3,000, and this I did very initially. Initially when I started, and I said, okay, I'll take it up. Okay, I took it up. I did not think about the money. I was a little sad that okay, why did the client do that? Even when the client had budget, okay, and they were like well to do, then why did they say or do this? But then I did that event and it was a super hit. And from that event, people saw me, and from that event, I got 6 more shows.
Oh wow.
So you see how it works.
That's nice.
Yeah. So just take up. Don't think about money and FOMO. Always see if you're going abroad to study. There is always going to be FOMO in life. I think of that one dialogue from some. I think it's Ranveer ka movie wherein it says कुछ ना कुछ तो छूटेगा ही.
ये जवानी है.
ये जवानी है दीवानी. तो अभी जिधर है उसी का मजा ले लो ना. Make the most of where you are.
Can someone be an MC as a side hustle and have a full-time job? Or do you think if they want to make it like actually very very big in this industry, should they pursue this full-time? Or maybe like pursue this full-time and take a part-time job rather than a full-time job alongside this?
Right. So see, the most of the people that I know in the community, all of them have day jobs. All of them are doing their 9 to 5 or have their own different businesses and all of that. So when you start out, it's always good to have more than one streams of income, right? Always good to have. Nobody will deny that. So when you start out, it's always good to have, maybe your 9 to 5 or whatever you're freelancing or whatever you have something, and then see, because most of the corporates now they have Saturday, Sunday off. So you can do this, and this emceeing events usually happen Saturdays and Sundays. So even if you like take up 2 on Sunday and 1 on Saturday, and you're doing that every weekend, you're doing enough and you're earning enough for
12
your
per month.
Exactly. And plus your job, which pays you well. So I think, but see, if in the long run, if you want to like be big in the industry or like just want to do this and give your full time into this, eventually you'll have to like focus and give your all into this. If you want to go along with this emceeing for a longer time and you just see yourself doing this, then you can't have a job. You'll have to give your all into this. But most of the people I know, they have a day job, and most of them just do this during the weekend, and they're doing really well. So it's a misconception that you have to only this or only that, only this. Do everything, yeah.
That's nice. So Shalveeta, what are your plans for this coming, say, 2 years? Do you have anything planned in mind? Do you want to stay here in India and keep doing shows, or go abroad and do shows? Or what's the plan? Just say for the next 2 years.
What's the plan? What's the plan? Okay. See, Jason, when I stepped into this, we all have plans. We all make plans, okay? We all have ambitions. We all have dreams. But when you have plans for yourself, you also have to remember that God has plans for you, right? And I stepped into this. When I stepped into this, there were people who told me that, okay, Shalveeta, you are not going anywhere with it. People very close to me told this, okay? Like my very close friends told me this. You're not going anywhere with this. It's just that December and January is a season time and you're going to be busy only during that time. But by God's grace, it's been this much time and I've not been sitting idle. There has been work coming, there is money coming, and it's all been God's grace. And when you ask me what is the plan, I definitely have big plans like, okay, I want to step into corporate, I want to do this, I want to do some live show, big dreams, which I don't say is wrong or right. But for me, I think the main focus for me right now is to just build myself up, like work on myself so much all round that people would want me. Like people would, like, no matter what, people would want me that, okay, she is like, I just want Shalveeta. Like that is where I want to reach. And if you ask me about plans, like I said, I am at a journey wherein I am still learning, I am still growing, and there is so much learning to do, there is so much growth to do. Because in the industry there are people who are killing it, there are people who are already there. I am just 0.5% there, like I've not even scratched the surface, right? So for the plans, at least I think for the next at least 1 year or maybe like 6 to 7 months is just to work on myself, right? Work on myself and be that person which people want to work with. People say that, okay, I want Shalveeta. There's no option, there's no choosing. There's no Shalveeta in this one, it's just Shalveeta. That is the point I want to reach.
You were saying about adjusting wedding dates to your availability.
Exactly. That is where I want to reach. And see, when you talk about you want to go out of India, all that will come. Like I, sitting here manifesting this in Jesus' name, fame will come, money will come, big shows will come, international trips and international shows will come. I know that it will come. If not in 1 year, if not in 2 years, not in 3 years, not in 4 years, 5 years, it has to come. But that is not in my hand. Like see, like when I told you when I started, I did not have good pictures. I still don't have videos. But the trust that my clients show me and the trust that the clients put in me that, okay, she will do, and I do it. I deliver what they want. And it's all been word of mouth that I've been getting clients and I've been getting work. If God has brought me this far, He has not brought me this far to embarrass me. And I know He's going to take me somewhere way beautiful, which I can't plan, which I can't think, which I can't manifest by myself. So yeah, the only goal right now is to work on myself and to just chisel myself and like, because I know I need to work on so many things, whether like I said, the visual identity or with the vocabulary, the way I speak, the way I present myself. It's still, I've reached a point, but like I said, it's just 0.5%. Or I could say it's just 0.2%. There is so much learning to do. There is so much effort that I need to put in myself. Planning will happen, which God will do.
What are some things that you do to get feedback? Like I get feedback through watching myself on a videotape. How do you get feedback for your events? Like people would be one, but what are some other ways you get feedback?
Right. See, one thing about me is I prepare myself. That is there. And when I go up on the stage, I'm very self-aware, okay? And see, when you think about it, you're very considerate and you're very compassionate when it comes to other people. If you see someone on the stage, you'll be appreciating that person. You'll say, oh, he's so good, she's so good, she's so confident. But when it comes to yourself, you're super self-critical. And I think it is with everyone, not just me, okay? So, I know that this went wrong. I know that I can do this better. So when I come back home, the joy is there. the peace is there, the pride is there, the satisfaction is there. But there is always something you can do better. Like no matter how many shows you do every show, do it as if it's your first and your last show. Right? So there is always something to learn. Like no matter what height you reach, know that there is always something to learn. So one is being self-aware. If I don't have videos, I know that okay, I could have done this better, or I could have said this, or okay, here I could have done this way. So it's there in my mind. I go through the flow, I have the flow, right? So I just go through the flow and just rewind the event in my head and I say, oh, okay, I did this there, I could have done that there. So I think it's after every show you do, I think it's very important to just go back through it and like just see what could have been better, or what could you do much better, because there is always space and time and
There's always something for
improvement. Exactly.
So, like the people watching this, some of them might be dealing with stage fright. How do you like overcome stage fright? Because even I have been in that situation. How do you like overcome it?
Overcome stage fright? I don't think you can. Like I said, the fear is always going to be there. I've done so many shows, and still before every show, I am scared. See, when you know you are good at something, you're going to be confident. You don't have to do this, do that, do this to be confident or take lessons to be confident. No. When you know that you have skilled your art, you've mastered your art, when you're so confident about what you're doing, the confidence just comes. But with the fear part, I think that is always going to be there, right? As humans and the way we are designed, the fear is going to be there. But how are you? In the initial stage, it's very critical because people won't get on stage saying I have public speaking fear, I have stage fright and all of that. Just once you can laugh on yourself, when you can laugh on yourself and when you are comfortable with embarrassing yourself, nothing can break you. So one is just know that it again comes with you don't have to impress everybody, and just when you know that you're doing, when you know your art, when you know your skill and when you know you're good at it, the confidence just comes. Just one thing I'd like to tell is, don't go up on the stage wanting everybody's attention or just trying to impress everybody. No, that's going to hurt you. That you won't reach anywhere. Just go there, give your best, do your best, come back and reflect and see how can I do better.
How do you think faith has played an important part in your success, I would say? Or how has God played an important part in your success?
Okay, so when I say I do this for joy, I do this for love, I do this for happiness and all of that, these are all fruits of the Holy Spirit and what you get from God, right? And even the very fact that I'm able to do this and make a living out of this is all God's grace. It's a gift that God has given me, which I am working on and making it better. So faith is very important. And like I said, when I get on the stage, I know I'm confident, I know that I've prepared, I know that it's all going to go well, but it's always also very important to have that touch or have that connection with something that is bigger than you, right? As a human, you can't do everything. So I always surrender my clients, I always surrender my events, and like I said, before I go on stage, it's always Holy Spirit take over, reign over, and He does the work. And He uses me as an instrument, as a vessel to spread the joy, the love, and whatever, the gifts and the blessings.
Yeah, that's great. Has there been anyone who has inspired you to do this, or like you look forward to meeting them or being like them? You don't want to be them, you don't want to be an so-called person, you want to be Shalveeta, but like you've taken so much inspiration from that person. Is there anyone like that?
Right. So when you ask me that question, Jason, the first person that comes to my mind is Deacon Ivan, who is the director of Diocesan Youth Center, Bombay. See, one thing I relate to him is when you asked me about the appearances, and I said I'm short, I'm this and that. But when you master your skill, all of this just disappears in the background. And when I have learned so much from Deacon Ivan, because when I look at him, he has that hold, he has that power, you know. When he goes on stage, you know that there's something, you just connect, you know, you just like, when you see a guitarist on the stage and when you see doing their work, they are living their art. They are just, it just flows. There is no pressure. They're not trying too hard. It just flows. So I think that is Deacon Ivan is one person that, and there are many pastors that I look up to. Like there is Pastor Michael Todd. When I look at these people talk, see the main reason I want, like when I speak, I want hearts to be touched, souls to be moved, minds to be opened. I might not be there yet, but I know I'm getting there. So I don't just want to engage myself in vain talks. That is one thing I'm very clear about, and it's one thing that I'm learning. Okay, as I'm growing, I'm learning. When I speak, I want people to be blessed. When I speak, I want people to be inspired. When I speak, I want hearts to be moved. Because one thing, you say affirmations, which is very trending these days. What are affirmations? Affirmations are words that people keep on saying, right? It's what is something that people keep on saying. And what you speak and what comes out of your mouth has power to change people, has power to move people, has power to inspire people. In the beginning, there was word, right? And words have power. So with this work, one thing that I want to do is just when I speak, I want people to be touched. I want people to know that there is more to life. Right? And with the other inspiration, like I said, with the dancing or with the way I dress, one thing that I'm very proud and very happy, the one thing that I find pride in is in my hair. And I think that makes me stand out. The curly headed MC. I know, right? And like I said, so I have taken inspiration from many people. So very few, some people from the industry as well, in the way they perform or way they have not put themselves in a box. Okay, you're an MC, you have to look like this, act like this, be like this. The world will always try to put you in a box. But like I said, at the end of the day, what makes you special is your special touch. How are you different? Why are you different? Why people have to choose you? So that is there. So I have taken inspiration from many people. Like I said, little bit of this, little bit from them, little bit from here, and all of that mosaic I have made like little puzzle pieces, and this one made puzzle in the making, I could say.
Even like about starting a podcast, I got the inspiration from Deacon Ivan actually, because at the last claim session, it's a leadership program that we go through at Diocesan Youth Center. So he told me that, he don't tell me, he told the crowd that get out of your comfort zone. Do something that challenges you. Are you comfortable in your current situation? Then move out from there. So I knew this podcast would be like a difficult thing for me. I know, like for me to frame questions and ask questions right now is a little bit difficult, even though I know the person. But I know over time I'm going to get better. And like this one business guru, Alex Homolsey, says that you got to be a disaster at something before you become a master at something. So I know I'm a disaster right now, but I know I will become a master very soon.
Very true, very true. And I'm so proud of you that you're doing this. No matter what you're doing in your life, when you put yourself out of the comfort zone is when you grow. Like I said, don't be afraid of you're going to embarrass yourself. Just be okay with being embarrassed. And then after a few years, when you look back, you're going to see that is what made me today. Do you remember the video that I sent you of me hosting in 2019? And I sent you a video of
you at the roast.
Exactly. Do you see how shy, how in a box I was, and you see the growth now.
Correct.
So when you look back, when you start out, it's not going to be amazing. It's not going to be perfect. It's going to be funny. It's going to be embarrassing. Just be okay with it and learn through it.
That's right.
Learn through it. That is important.
Okay, we'll now go for a rapid fire round to end this.
Okay. Let's go.
First thing, would you like to host the communion or host the baptism?
Communion.
Communion.
Yes.
Would you like to perform at a formal event or an informal event?
Informal event.
Why informal? Like
you see my personality, Jason.
Yeah. Okay, describe yourself in 3 words.
3. Happy-go-lucky, always smiling, full of joy.
3 words.
3 words. Okay. Joyful, loving, compassionate.
Joyful, loving, and compassionate.
Yes.
If you could have any superpower, what would it be?
Superpower, what could it be? Oh damn, it's a rapid fire, okay.
It's okay, you can think.
Superpower, what could it be? I think one thing that just superpower, and it also relates to my work, just to heal people's pain, because it breaks my heart to see people go through.
Okay, English or Hindi?
English.
Whoever moves first doesn't love Jesus.
I'm a tool like this. Oh
I won. I love Jesus more. Anyways, thank you guys for watching till now. Thank you so much, Shalveeta, for coming on my show. And it's been a pleasure to talk to you, learn from you, and we hope we can do another episode in the future once again. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Jason, for having me. Thank you, Jason, for having me. I loved every bit of it.
Thank you.